What's good, everybody, and welcome to the next day UAB week. It's your boy Ruck in the building, man. And I know I came in a hot on our show that I dropped after the game, and I have reasons still to not be as excited about this blowout that we had. I mean, offensively, guys, we look sharp. Outside of a few drives, man, that we'll kind of dive into, there were a few drives in that second quarter where we kind of looked like we did against Georgia a hair. I don't think it raises cause for concern yet. Like, it's not something that I'm concerned with. I think it's just something that in the midst of games, in the midst of how the flow goes, Heupel's going to call it a little differently. And so we'll dive into that a little bit. But you know what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to SEC play heading down to Starkville, Mississippi this Saturday. I think it's a 4:15 kick. 3:15 local time there in Starkville when we kick off. This is going to be the first test. This is a road game. Josh Heupel has struggled on the road typically in the SEC since he's been here, but I just have a sneaky suspicion that the tides are changing and the road woes may be coming to an end, and this is due to one simple thing. But you already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Welcome to the next day, UAB week. You already know what it is, man. It is straight up Tennessee, baby. Let's get it popping on a Sunday.
Tennessee's the program to keep an eye on. If you want to know which program that's not currently at the head table of college football, it's Tennessee.
Now Meshack's got to go. A fire! Fire! Wins it! Watch out, boy! Meshack wins it! He needs a strike. Burton needs a bolt. Swing and a miss! And for the first time, Rocky Top reaches the mountaintop of college baseball.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Straight Up Tennessee here on a Sunday. You already know what to do, man. It's the top of the show. Like, comment, subscribe, and join the channel, man. It has been a really good weekend, man. I feel like, obviously, anytime Tennessee's playing football and anytime Tennessee plays and gets a W, it's a good weekend. And I mean, outside of that, just things have just been great. You know, church this morning, great service. Just a really, really good weekend, man. And so I am just I feel like this team has hit this place where things are not just turning, but they're shifting. This is culture, this is play calling, this is personnel, like everything. Okay, so like I'm in this place where I really think this football team has a chance to do something special. And yes, you like Ruck, bro. We just played UAB, understandably. Defense still has a long way to go. But the best teams do what? They get better week after week. Defensively, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. It's not been pretty. It's not been something that, you know, we can even say, I wouldn't think Arion Carter, if he was here on this show tonight, that he would say that he's pleased with how the defense is playing. I'm not pleased with how they're playing. I understand that we have people out. There's been a whole lot of turnover as far as with injuries, health, everything, right? Like, I know this. But that's still, to me, is still not good enough reason for us to be struggling as much as we have been. But there still is light at the end of the tunnel, right? Like, I still don't think that this is the finished product, because if it is, it's not going to be good enough to do what we do, towards the end of the year. And I think Tennessee is in this place right now where they have a decision to make. They have a decision to do two things: get better now, get better quickly, or stay the same and we struggle throughout the rest of SEC play. I don't believe that that's what will happen. I think that they will choose the latter, which is get better now. Let's struggle now defensively, right? You get Mississippi State, you get a bye week, you get Arkansas. Arkansas is scoring a lot of points right now, right? But they lost to Memphis, so I don't know what to think of them, right? So you got 2 back-to-back games, and those are games that you should win by 2 or 3 touchdowns, period, right? Mississippi State and Arkansas. Then you get into Alabama, and then you got Kentucky on the road, and then you get OU in Knoxville on November 1st. These next 6 games are what will more than likely define this season. You get Mississippi State on the road, Arkansas at home, Alabama at home, Alabama at Bama. I'm sorry, not at home. Excuse me. Kentucky on the road, and then you come back right here to Neyland Stadium against Oklahoma, who just beat Auburn. They struggled through it, but they won. And Auburn's a better football team. I don't know how much better they are, but OU struggled in that game at home. They struggled. And so, again, I don't know what to think totally about Oklahoma, but back to Tennessee, we have to get better defensively quick. I got people in the chat talking about it right here. Artez, what's up, Tez? He says, go Vols. And then Jonathan Henderson right here says, the sad part is the first string has played well, talking about the defense, but then there is a major drop-off. Too many third stringers are now second string. This is why you stack classes, right, Jonathan? Right? Like we've talked about stacking classes, and we're in year 5, and now this is the first full year almost. You still got guys like Don Bailey, and you still have guys like Bryson Easton who were recruited by Jeremy Pruitt, if we want to call a spade a spade. Like those guys were still recruited by Jeremy Pruitt, and they're still on this roster. Year 6 will be the first year that is a full-blown Josh Heupel roster, from transfers to freshmen, everything. So we will really find out in year 6 next season how good this team is going to be. I think the third stringers are good. Marion Dye is playing well. Jamal Wallace, for what it's worth, he's playing pretty well on the interior. Tyree West didn't play yesterday. David Sanders on the offensive side didn't play. David Hobbs still is out. Jamal McCoy is out. Ricky's out for the year, right? So, like, you still had a ton of first stringers on the defensive side of the ball, not even strap up. Again, Jackson Moy as well. But what's the thing about the elite teams? What's the thing about the elite teams in our conference? Georgia. I hate to say it, but Georgia. You should have won the game. I mean, you got to continue to put Alabama in the elite category with the way that they still are able to recruit, even if the talent's not being developed as it was when Nick Saban was there. The talent is still there at Alabama, right? Maybe Texas. I don't know. They're struggling this year offensively a little bit. Arch got it going a little bit against Sam Houston yesterday, but still it's Sam Houston. So it's like, what does it look like when they play in the Red River rivalry or when they go to the Swamp next week? What does Texas look like, right? But when you think about the elite teams, like, you have to put Texas in there right now, because defensively they can lose 2 guys and there's no drop off. Right now, we're seeing with this roster specifically, we couldn't lose 1, and the drop off is noticeable. And I don't think that it's something that is cause for concern, but these guys got to get better quick, because now they're going to be called on because of the injuries that we faced with Dave and Jax. Tyree was out, and I think Tyree was more precautionary. But again, if they do go down for real, we got to have these guys ready to play. Jonathan also says right here, at least Moy and Hobbs are said to be returning versus Mississippi State. That's the lingo. That's the lingo now. But what's real? We don't know what's real. Everybody watching right now, man, tap into the chat. Y'all can blow the chat up. We want to kind of let you guys guide the show. I do have a lot of things to kind of get into, stats wise, numbers, just kind of what the game looked like overall. And then actually after that, we'll do that first, and then we'll actually kind of dive more into a Mississippi State kind of preview. As you guys know, if you follow the show, On Mondays, we do our Who Is show, and tomorrow is Who Is Mississippi State. That'll be live 8:30 Eastern and 7:30 Central. And so we'll dive into a massive scout that I have completed over Mississippi State. Got a lot of talent on that roster. Jeff Levy's doing a really good job offensively calling them and scheming this up. I really think that Mississippi State's better than we think. But I do not think, here's the thing. I do not think Tennessee is losing this game, and I do not think Tennessee should win this game by less than 2 touchdowns. I think there is a key piece that I'll talk about tomorrow. There's a key piece in this matchup that Tennessee can exploit. And it has to do a lot about recruiting and a lot about talent. But there's a thing that Tennessee can exploit, and if they can get it early, this is going to be a blowout. But let's talk a little bit about yesterday afternoon. Tennessee beats UAB 56-24, right? Tennessee went for 510 yards offensively, but UAB went for 394. That's way too much, man. Like that's way too much. That is way too much to a team like UAB. I don't care. UAB threw the ball for 364 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. A 61-yard busted play was their biggest touchdown reception. 61 yards to UAB, y'all. That's not okay. Like that to me, that's not okay. UAB ran the ball for 23 yards. Yep, Noah's in the chat. What's up, Noah? He says rushed for 23. Yeah, they didn't run the football well at all. And the defense did this even. I mean, they've been doing this defensively. When you try to run the football on this Tennessee team, it is a struggle. And yes, Georgia manhandled us for 3 drives in that game, an 8-minute, a 7, and then overtime. But that's it. If y'all want to talk about allowing teams to run the football on us, yes, Georgia had south of 200 yards, but we typically do a really good job in run defense. And so giving up 23 rushing yards, that's what I expect. But offensively for us, Joey Aguilar, another consistent, solid day for him. 15 of 22 for 218, 3 tuds, 1 pick that really, give or take, you could say it was his fault. He put it behind the guy a little bit, which caused the PBU. But when the balls popped up like that for that long, man, it is what it is, right? Tennessee ran the football for 235 yards on the ground. Peyton Lewis scored. Deshaun Bishop scored. And Star Thomas scored. This is vintage Tennessee, right? Brazel went for 5 touches, 62 yards and a tud. Mike Matthews had a 39-yard touchdown catch, had another great day for him. Obviously, we passed the ball for around 270, and we ran it for 230. So that kind of led us to that 510 yards offensively. Again, UAB throwing for 364 is too much. They did have 51 pass attempts. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of times to throw the football. You better be getting some yards. But still, man, like, 360, bro, is too much, y'all. It's too much. It's way too much. Let's see. In the chat right here, Artez, my boy, he says, what is the spread against Mississippi State? Let's find out. Let's see. We'll see what the spread is right now. I didn't check it so far, but looks like right now the spread, the over-under is set right now at 61.5, and we are a 10.5 point favorite right now. 10.5 on the road, Tez. That is what it is. My man Kevin in the chat says, we also had some bigger dogs in the middle last year. We have to get up on teams so we don't have to worry about them even calling run plays. Yeah. I was on the Blue Chip Breakdown last week, and that's what my guy Timmy G actually pointed that out, and it opened my eyes a little bit. I was complaining a little bit about, like, where's Bryson Eason? Like, where's the impact that Bryson Eason had last year? Like, where's that Bryson Eason? And Timmy said, bro, you got to remember about the people that were around him. Right? Big E, Omar Norman Lott, Amari Thomas. Those 3 were gap closers, bro. They would clog the gaps, and allow for our other defensive linemen to get in their penetration and make some things happen. We don't really have that right now. It's not healthy. David Hobbs, Jackson Moy, it's not healthy right now. And so you're right, Kevin. We had some bigger boys in the middle last year, man. Like, that was the thing. That was the thing. He says 100%. Yeah. Like that. That's the thing, is we just need to get healthy in the interior, bro. If we can get healthy in the interior, it's scary season, man. And I really think we will soon. But how soon, man? Like, when can these guys be ready? Because it's SEC play, right? You get a bye week after this week, and that's what you need. That's what you need big time. Let's see. Tennessee had 3 sacks in the game against UAB, 9 TFLs. Boo Carter, 9 tackles. That was his career best as far as in tackles are concerned. He also had multiple tackles for loss, and he had that punch-out forced fumble that led to Caleb Beasley's fumble recovery for a touchdown. Star Thomas had both a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. You know, shout out to this boy Star. Let's see. What else did we have? I'm looking through my notes. Obviously, the fumble return, Caleb Beasley, was a touchdown, defensive touchdown, which is huge. Anytime you can score the football defensively, you're making things happen and you're keeping the pressure off the offense, which is awesome. Here's the thing. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. 360 plus yards to an opponent like UAB is showing the country that Tennessee's defense is not what we thought it was going to be. It's not okay. Like, I'm going to keep harping on it until we get it figured out and until we get guys healthy, whatever. We got to be better. We got to be better. I don't think that we're in a place where we have to hit the panic button. That's not what I'm saying. But we do need to get better fast, because you get Mississippi State, who's going to spread us out, man. They're going to spread us out. They're going to try to run the football, even though they're not running the football extremely well right now. They're going to definitely try to spread us out and make some things happen there. And then, obviously, when they spread you out, you're putting your corners and your safeties even on islands against their speedy receivers. They have a lot of talented guys. And so I just think that Tennessee needs to be not aware is not the word, but we need to be ready for what can happen. What's up, Lamone's in the chat? Lamone's Jr. just says, go Big Orange. Yes, sir. Go Big Orange all day, man. It's going to be a great week, though. And so while Mississippi State's going to throw things left, right, up, down, around us at us, you know, I just feel like Tennessee, we must get better quicker on the defensive side. And another big worry for me right now is time of possession. You know, Tennessee's scoring the ball so fast. Like, when are we going to show that we can still handle those grinded out drives that we showed last year? As much as we hated them, those are great in big games when you need to just hold the football and still come out of the drive with points, right? Like, that was one thing that Kirby did to us 2 weeks ago now. You know what I mean? Like, that 8-minute drive to start the third quarter was brutal. Now, luckily, Joey Aguilar gets the football back and throws a dot to Brazel for a tud. But that 8-minute drive, bruh, brutal. Tennessee's got to start figuring out, can we get back to some of those grinded out drives? Like, and those are only needed in SEC play, right? Like, what happens if you're close with Mississippi State? Let's just call it 27-21. You know, Mississippi State gives you the football back. You got 7-8 minutes left on the clock in the fourth quarter. We need a grinded out drive. We don't need to give them the football back early. We need to run the football, control what we can control. I know y'all just saw that lightning, right? Crazy out here in Knoxville right now. But grind it out, control the pace, control the tempo, and make that drive be 7-8 plays, or not 7-8 plays, 7-8 minutes, 12 to 16 plays, and get you points out of it, not 3, 7. That's what we need. Kevin in the chat here says, yeah, no one is going to give us a break. Folks have to get healthy, and these young bucks have to grow up even faster. Maybe it's not too late to get oh, my gosh. Oh, Kev, you didn't have to say it, Kev. Man, watching him play last night, I was sick. And I'm still scratching my head on why he left other than for financial gain. He was going to start this year. He was a starter. That's why Idris Farouk is starting, right? Because Jack Thomas left. That's one I still don't understand, bro. Like that whole thing, I still do not understand it at all. I felt like that made 0 sense for him to transition. Like, why did he do that? Like, what was it? Like, why? Like, I'm still scratching my head, man. Yeah, Lamone said it right here. Jacoby's down there in Miami. I mean, bro, that sack he got on Lagway last night, I just was like, bro, that's what I remember. Like, I still see that hit that Jacoby laid on that running back for Oklahoma last year, Barnes. Oh, my God. Every time I see that hit, I was like, dude, Jack Thomas, man. And that was Jack Thomas's thing, right? Keeping his head down, going after it, hitting it. Idris Farouk is doing that same thing. And I think Idris may be a hair better in coverage than Jacoby was. But Jacoby had that experience, man. Like, you can't, like, I will say this forever, bro. Like, proven experience is always better than talent, especially right now in college football. And if you think I'm lying, we are living proof of what I just said right now with Joey Aguilar and Nico Iamaleava. Nico is, y'all, light years more talented probably than Joey Aguilar. As far as stature, arm talent, athleticism, like, am I wrong? But what is it that Joey has? Joey has that dog in him, and he has experience at the collegiate level. This is why his transition to the SEC has not been difficult. He's playing his best football of his life because now the game is slowed down, and now he's in an offense that is totally tailored to what he's great at doing. This is why I'm telling y'all, man, experience, proven experience triumphs all talent, in my opinion. It's okay to have some talented guys who can flash and make big plays, right? Like, I think like Peyton Lewis, for instance. Peyton Lewis is still a young back, right? Like, he's not making as many plays as he probably wants to for Tennessee right now, but he will begin to. He might not do it right now. Like, he had a great big run yesterday on that speed option. When he saw grass, he was gone. But it's the in-between the tackles game for P. Maybe he just needs to work on that a little bit more, fine-tune some things as he's hitting his holes and his gaps and things like that. But why are you seeing Star Thomas succeed? Fifth-year senior. Why are you seeing Deshaun Bishop? Deshaun Bishop is a junior in school and a sophomore on the field because his freshman year, you know, he broke his ankle, had that ankle injury. But he's still more experienced. This is why not only is he trusted, but he's making an impact when he touches the football. I say all of that to say, I wish we had Jacoby Thomas too. Even though Idris, they're basically a clone as far as how they play back there at strong safety. The experience that Jacoby had, man, at MTSU, and then obviously last year here in Knoxville, you just wish a guy like that, you figure it out. You figure out a way to keep him. But didn't happen that way for us, and we move on. And so going back to a little bit of things, not a little bit of things, that's weird. Kind of previewing a little bit of this Mississippi State game. I don't want to dive into it too much, y'all, but I do want to give you kind of a preview on how this matchup kind of sets up. And this is kind of like a prequel, I guess you can say, into what you're going to get tomorrow night with the Who Is. Man, we're going to have Dylan back. We're going to have C2 back. I think Selly going to be on with us too because it's SEC play, and I think Turn is going to do his best. That man's work just keeps him super busy, so it's hard for him sometimes to hop on with us. I shouldn't say sometimes. I should probably say most times. He's just a busy dude. And so, but we should have the rest of the guys with us tomorrow for the Who Is Mississippi State. But let's get into a quick preview of this team, right? Like, what do they like to do? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna try to do? It's an interesting makeup of players. They hit the portal pretty well. Jeff Lebby comes from the same coaching tree as Josh Heupel, so you can expect some of the same schemes offensively. They do a lot of things differently than we do as far as when they do spread out. We're looking to really pound and ground and run the football. They are much more on the pass heavy side of things. But they also do some things in their trickeration game, right? So looking at Mississippi State, this is an undefeated football team that you're facing, Tennessee, right? Like, they're playing better defense than they ever have. Shapen's over 800 yards. I don't want to get into all of it too much, but they're still running the football pretty well. They have a really great receiver, Brennan Thompson, speedster, 270. I think he's got almost 300. He's probably right under south of 300 yards. Not a ton of catches, 17 catches, but he is a big play guy. He's averaging I think almost 17 yards. I think he's averaging almost 17 yards a catch. And so look at this. Look who decided to join us. The boy C2. What up, bro?
Hey, man. How's it going?
My brother, man. Hey, y'all. I let me tell y'all something about us at Straight Up Tennessee. A, not professionals at all. B, not the media, none of that. We are literally friends. We're all friends. And when you're friends, you got people that just don't like they decide what they want to read and they decide how they want to read it. Basically, what I'm saying is C2 didn't read the text well and thought I said 5 o'clock Central because he's in Nashville. Well, I said 5 o'clock Eastern because I'm Starkville. I text him at 4:59. Where you at? I thought you said 5. I said it is 5.
Hey, I'm used to you living in Nashville. I'm still getting used to you moving back to East Tennessee, man.
It's okay. It's okay. Let me see what my man Lemoyne says. Yeah, Mississippi State may give us some problems if we don't come correct. Yeah. And like I said, I've got a huge scout tomorrow, but I want to see what I'm doing is I'm giving them a quick little scout, just a quick preview, I guess, of what Mississippi State's bringing in this week. We'll dive into by the numbers tomorrow. We have a huge slate tomorrow. Tomorrow night's going to be a big night. But this is the biggest thing. Here are 4 things that I want to just kind of set up the week with for us to be successful against Mississippi State. A, passing defense has to tighten up quick. We are not doing a great job still when it comes to the inside of the hashes. Everything outside the numbers, other than that big busted play last night against UAB, everything, even against Georgia, outside the numbers. Sure, they had 2 plays outside the numbers. One was the game-tying touchdown, I should say, and then obviously the first play of the game there to Kobe Young. Outside of that, Georgia didn't beat us outside the numbers. Outside of that, UAB didn't beat us outside the middle of the field is where we lost that Georgia game, but also where we struggled against UAB and, heck, just say it, Syracuse too. We struggled in the middle of the field. And so if UAB is thrown for 364, what could Blake Shapen and Brennan Thompson and all of these different guys that they have, what could they do to Tennessee? Number 2, our run defense has been great. Again, you gave up 190 plus yards to Georgia. You take away 3 drives, and it was probably 120. Let's just call a spade a spade. You take away the opening drive of the third quarter. You take away the overtime drive, and then you take away that drive in the fourth quarter where they kind of slowed the game down again after the score because they wanted to grind that clock down so Tennessee didn't get the football back. But you take those 3 drives out of the game, Georgia didn't run the football well against us. They manhandled us for 3 drives, and those 3 drives got them to that number. if we can continue to replicate the defensive stops up on the run game, especially against a team averaging right now, I think 5.8 yards a carry, which is Mississippi State. And again, who have they played? I understand. I don't know if Arizona State is as good as we think they are, right? They did get a road win last night against Baylor. But in game 2, on the road at Mississippi State, how good is Arizona State, right? And they still should have won the football game, y'all. Let's just call it. Let's call it what it is. A blown coverage, and you're a play away from walking out of Starkville winning that game 24-21. Run defense has to continue to be great. Number 3, the balanced attack has to continue. We can't, and C2 is, if I give C2 the mic right now, he will talk about this for the next 30 minutes. But it's because if we do not run the football, you see how this offense is stagnant. It becomes stale. Think about the second quarter against UAB. Think about the second quarter against Georgia. Every one of those quarters, the main thing we stopped doing was running the football. Now, Joey had the hot hand. I get it. Let's get the ball outside. Let's keep doing what we're doing. But we never gave the running backs a chance to get a hot hand. So the balanced attack is a great sign. It's a dangerous thing. We need to stay dangerous and not become stagnant. Number 4, lastly, I think in this Mississippi State game, C2, that special teams and turnovers are going to change this game. If Boo Carter decides to continue to fumble on punt recoveries, that's one that Mississippi State capitalizes on. You can stop UAB. You can stop UAB. But what about Mississippi State when they have momentum and the cowbells just blinging in your ears after you decide to look at a muffed punt like it was nothing, right? Like, no. Get your butt on the ground and get the football, bro. So fumbles, interceptions, return touchdowns. These are going to swing momentum in a game like this against Mississippi State. And so I think on the road, hostile environment, luckily, C2, we don't play at 7 or 8 or anything. That's the best thing about this.
Yep.
A 4:15 kick on Eastern time, 3:15 Central. Like, this is what we need. This is what we want. It ain't even going to be dark before we leave there. And so Tennessee has every opportunity. Those 4 things to me kind of set up the week. Like, again, and if you're just joining us, those 4 things is passing defense got to get better quick. Tennessee's defense run in the run game has been outstanding. Continue that. Number 3, the balanced attack offensively must stay balanced. And then number 4, special teams and turnovers are going to swing this game. That's what's going to happen. And it's what team. And honestly, I think what team can stop what team? Because Mississippi State's defense is not good enough to stop Tennessee. Our defense is good enough to stop them, though. And we have to, especially if you're getting Jackson Moy and potentially David Hobbs back.
Yeah, I won't go too far into my by the numbers, but I did a couple things building off what you're saying. How many yards did you say UAB had passing against us?
364.
364. How many of those do you think were actually air yards?
Oh God, dear. Not a probably less than Georgia. Nah, probably more than Georgia.
61% of their passing yards came yards after the catch. 222 yak yards against UAB. So, if we don't stop playing this stupid soft zone we go into every time we have a 10-point lead, we're going to be in the same position we were against Georgia again come Alabama, potentially Mississippi State. We've got to stop on defense getting a lead and thinking it's the NFL where you can get a lead, start playing soft zone, and grind the clock out. That's not the way college football works. The clock stops every first down, guys. If they have a 3rd and 4 and we're playing 12 yards off the wide receiver, they're getting a first down.
Yep.
Secondly, when it comes to what you're talking about with the balanced attack, what I would like to see that I haven't seen is us to come out doing what we've done, getting Joey going, getting Joey hot, and then switching, especially in this Mississippi State game. I think it's important for us to switch to a more run-heavy approach in the second quarter and just wear their defense out for two reasons. One, their defense is going to get tired quickly.
The depth
we've
piece,
got it running back.
and the depth piece for Mississippi State isn't there. Like, even though like our depth hasn't been amazing so far, like that's also what's kind of pissing me off a little bit. Like, our depth hasn't necessarily been stopping anything in the pass game, but anytime somebody tries to run, they're still doing well. And so I think with it, like you said, going back to what you're saying though, we can wear them down because, man, they're one deep. That's it.
That will also have the twofold effect of keeping their offense off the field and disrupting any rhythm they may establish early, which will be very important. So I know we like to go fast. I know we like to throw a 70-yard bomb for a touchdown. There is nothing we like more as Tennessee fans than to see Mike Matthews or Chris Brazzell 50 yards deep for a touchdown.
Hey, what did he do last night?
Bro needs to go to dance class, but he caught that touchdown. But in this game and some other games coming up, I think it will be more important for us to control the tempo and not necessarily control time of possession, but have it be more balanced than it has been and just grind their defense to dust. By the end of that second quarter.
That's going to be huge. I don't, and you know, man, I talked about this a little bit before you got on. Like, we haven't won time of possession yet this year. Last year, we won it in a few games, man. And it was due to us not trusting Nico to throw the football, right? But we still were able to have grinded out drives. Like, I haven't seen that from us yet. And I think now in this 5-game stretch, and I said this earlier, but I'm coming back to it because my boy C2's back. I said this earlier, this 5-game stretch, C2, Mississippi State on the road. You get a bye week to get Arkansas back at home. Then you travel 2 weeks straight. You go to Alabama, you go to Kentucky. And then you come back home on November 1st, and you have what everybody is saying is the golden team in the SEC right now, being the Oklahoma Sooners. I'm not impressed. I think they're okay. I don't know how great they are. And, I mean, Auburn took them to the wire in Norman. Took them to the wire. If Jackson Arnold had a few people to block for him, they probably win the game.
Or if the refs had their prescription glasses in,
they'd
probably win the game.
Sheesh. But like I'm saying, this 5-game stretch is going to tell us everything. And it's going to be important for us to run the football so that Joey can have that opportunity to hit those 60, 70-yard dots.
I'll tell you what we can't do and what I don't like, even though I think we win this game. I don't like that Arkansas is after a bye week again. And I don't like the fact that they lost to Memphis because now we've got to be like, if something happens and we lose to Arkansas, the playoffs are gone this year. It don't matter if we win out. It won't.
Yeah, we're not losing to Arkansas in Neyland Stadium.
We better not.
Yeah, no.
I don't think we will, but I don't love that it's after a bye week, although I do think the leadership on this team is different than it was last year.
Agreed. And again, the way that happened last year, like you don't lose that. Even you shouldn't have lost that football game anyways. But
yeah.
C2, let's talk about this a little bit, bro, before we kind of turn the corner. What do you think about Tuesday? Obviously, if people don't know, Tuesday, the SEC is going to be announcing our and the rest of the SEC's permanent opponents. I think we're also getting the other 6 games, C2, on Tuesday. So you're not only going to get your 3 permanents, but you're also going to get your 6 matchups for 2026 on Tuesday. I mean, it's hard for me to not. I think it's Alabama. I know it's Alabama. I know it's Vanderbilt. And I think it's Kentucky. What do you think?
It's definitely Alabama and Vanderbilt. The question becomes who's the third. And I think the only choices there are either between Florida or Kentucky. I don't think Georgia will be one of them.
No, it won't be.
I've also heard that the 3 locked games are going to like rotate every 4 to 6 years or something like that?
Yeah. So the proposal is that your permanent opponents, based off of situations and how the teams are. So let's say in 4 years, not Vandy, but like let's say in 4 years, Kentucky is just like they're rock bottom, dude. Like they're the new Vanderbilt of the SEC. They're probably going to change that. What?
Us, are they not kind of already there?
I was trying to be nice.
I mean, if you look at Kentucky this year versus Vandy this year,
yeah,
Kentucky's the new Vandy with worse grades.
Well, let's just say they get even worse. Okay.
Okay.
They say they go 3-9 consecutively and don't make bowl games. Then they're going to be looking at situations to make those permanent opponents a little bit better for the better team, being Tennessee. I'm interested to see how they do that in the next few years because, I mean, I feel like these will be it'll make sense. And I don't know why you would rotate it if these are supposedly like your permanent opponents are your biggest rivals, right? Like, why would we rotate and try to create a new rivalry?
I could see 2 of the 3 rotating, but keeping the historical rivalry, like keeping Alabama for us, keeping Florida, Georgia.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. Dude, there's no way in the world they wouldn't let us play Vanderbilt, bro. There's just no way.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the part. But see, with other teams, I don't think it's like that. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, like with Alabama, right? Let's think about Alabama for a second. They're definitely playing Auburn. They should definitely be playing LSU, right?
Yeah.
But who's the third? You see what I'm saying?
Could be us. I mean, even Saban said sometimes had trouble getting his team up for Auburn or LSU, but he never had trouble getting them hyped up to play us.
Yeah, and that's what I meant to say, us, right? So it's like,
yeah.
But you feel like out of those 3, the only rotatable one would be LSU. But then who do you rotate it with? Like you know what I'm saying? So like that's the rotation thing where I'm like, I don't know. I think it could either do one of 2 things. It could overcomplicate it and you could still play them because you now got non-conference games. So right? So like if you got non-conference games, you're getting that extra game anyways. That can always be that other team, right? So I was talking to my boy Matthew today, Matt Kissling, my boy, and I was basically like, dude, what if we get to go to DKR and like Ole Miss or Texas A&M in 2026?
I would love Ole Miss.
Dude, Vaught-Hemingway Stadium, amazing. Not big.
Their tailgate experience, too, is incredible.
Great. What do they call their walk again? Is it the Walk of Champions?
Oh, that I don't know. Isn't their area the Grove or something?
The Grove. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, that would be sick, bro. It would be sick. That would be the goal, though. Is like, I just want to go. Like, the best portion is like, I'm like, bro, save all your money now because you're going to get that road game that you're just going to really want to go to next year.
Mm-hmm.
And you just don't know what it is yet. But we will find out, and I just can't wait to find out what it is because it's going to be huge once we do. I'm saying, I think you're going to get Texas, right? Like it's been 2 years. They said at each new team would have a rotatable schedule between different teams, and we had OU for the first 2. Now it's time to get Texas, and that's going to be wild.
Yeah, that'll be real wild. My cousin lives in Austin too, so I might go to our home game against them, and then save up, go to our away game against them.
I'm going to the away game. So we can
figure out, so we can decide once and for all who the real UT is.
I'm going to the away game because our boy John is a huge Texas fan, and so I have no choice.
Man, I'm just honestly, I'm going to be happy we're not playing Alabama and Georgia every year, man. Because
I think it's gonna be weird though. I think it will be weird. But even though C2, like think about this, man, the last 3 years you played Alabama and Georgia every year and you've made it to the playoffs. you made it to the playoff last year. The year
Yeah.
before, with Joe Milton, you should have beat Alabama there in Tuscaloosa. You didn't. 2021 or 2022, you struggle.
Yeah.
You finally get over the hump, but then you lose to South Carolina, right? You're one game away from the college football playoff. So
the reason I'm glad we don't have to play both of them every year, though, is I feel like most other teams in the top 25, at least from a big conference, right? They have a game leeway where they can mess up and lose one.
yeah.
We have to beat either Georgia or Alabama to even have a chance at having a game worth of leeway. And then it really depends on how well Georgia and Alabama did that season.
Right.
So like if we beat Alabama and then they go on a 3-game losing streak and we somehow mess up and lose to Oklahoma, we're out of the playoffs. At that point, it doesn't matter.
Yep. I don't want that to happen. I think that there's a potential that it could, but I don't want it to.
Yeah.
I don't see a world where Tennessee plays Georgia next year. I don't.
No.
I could see them throwing in an LSU because of what we did to them in 2022, an Ole Miss, right? Just because of the Lane Kiffin history. I don't think you'll play Arkansas again. I think you're going to get either South Carolina or Missouri back on the schedule. You know what I mean? You're going to get one of them. And then if Florida isn't a permanent opponent, I could still see them scheduling that game. So our SEC slate, bro, it's not going to be what it's been, if that makes any sense. It's not going to be what it's been in many different ways. You're going to get a little bit more competition for sure, but you're also not going to have like the worst of the worst cupcakes. You're not going to have Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, and Kentucky. Like you will have Vanderbilt and Kentucky though. So I guess maybe you will. I don't know. C2, I'm ready for them. I'm ready for this week, bro. I'm just ready for this week. It's Sunday. Tennessee did what we were supposed to do. Still defensively, I'm not happy, but I'm just ready for this week because, man, this is when the real season starts, right? You could have said, oh, no, Georgia's when the real season starts. Well, we knew that there was going to be another game in between that broke up the real season for us, right? You would have loved to win that football game, and you didn't. But I really do think, man, like we're going to find out a lot, man. The road woes. I said this at the beginning of the show. I think the road woes and Josh Heupel, I think it's over. And the reason that I think that is because this team has evolved as far as offensively. That's the thing that's been the issue on the road, people. It's not been defense. It's scoring the football. It's offensive operation. This offense has been clean for the most part all year. And yes, you had a neutral site game against Syracuse, but in your other 3 games have been at Neyland Stadium. C2, I trust Joey Aguilar, man. Like I trust the talent. I trust the experience. I trust the talent. I trust the moxie. Like I just trust Joey Aguilar to make sure that this team doesn't fall off the rails under pressure in a hostile road SEC environment. Like that's what's going to ground this team for things and mistakes that have happened the last 2 seasons, Joe Milton and Nico Imaliava. I think that is the key to success in 25.
Yeah, I'll definitely dive into this a bit more tomorrow. I'm excited about this week because I definitely think Mississippi State's going to score some points. They're definitely going to get some yards, but I don't think this game's going to be particularly close throughout, or especially at the end. It's probably going to be a little close early, but part of the reason Mississippi State looks so good, or people kind of think they are so good, is because of that win over Arizona State.
Yeah.
I don't think Arizona State's all that good, to be honest with you. From what I've seen, they struggled against Northern Arizona. They struggled against Texas State. They barely beat Baylor. Those are 3 unranked teams. Mississippi State, they gave up 17 to Southern Miss. They gave up 10 to Northern Illinois, and Northern Illinois is not good.
Not good. That's not a good football team.
So, like, yeah, I think we're going to give up more yards than we want. I think we're going to give up more points than we want. But I think offensively, we're just if we go in with a good game plan and don't try and do this whole try not to lose bull crap, I don't think it'll be particularly close.
We get to dive into that and more tomorrow on our Who is Mississippi State show. Again, I'll have C2 back. I'll have Dylan back. Selly will be back. It's going to be a loaded night, people. We got a lot to get through tomorrow as far as our full game scouts. We get one of my favorite new segments of the 2025 season, By the Numbers with C2, where we'll dive into, man, Mississippi State has, and I was just looking, they have some very interesting numbers so far as what they've been able to do through 4 games, but also what they're really bad at defensively. I've seen a lot of things where it's like Tennessee, Joshua Heupel, you have an opportunity here. So
yep. Tomorrow night will be an all defense by the numbers. It will be our defense and their defense.
I can't wait for it. So by the numbers with C2, and then obviously our early week score prediction. So, man, get ready. It's going to be a fun hour and however long we have to go on a Monday. But you guys, man, we love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks for tapping in on the next day episode, UAB week. Listen, man, everybody watching, we're live tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. 8:30 East. Hey, do you hear me, C2? 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, live right here, YouTube and Facebook. Can't wait for the Who is Mississippi State show. For my guy C2, man, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Ruck in the building. Go Vols. You already know, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. We'll see you live tomorrow night for the Who is Mississippi State show.